Welcome to the foray 3 of co-creating humanity's future.
There is something profound that's occurring now. And it has the sense that it carries the potential to rewire us at the deepest level in terms of who do we understand ourselves humans to be, and what is this place we call Earth.
I believe that in this experience, we might be able to create these entry points to a bigger ocean. And this bigger ocean is actually our collectivity.
The thing that's coming up for me is acceptance. That sometimes that brighter, wiser future doesn't always feel that accessible to you. And that's totally okay. And just the realization that, like, at any given moment, you may not feel you have access to everything you want to have access to, but you can take small steps.
I noticed that what comes alive in me as we talk about humanity's future and co-creating it, rather than something humongous, big, I come back to our deep, intimate individuality, and how in the end it all starts right here, right now.
For me, in terms of where flow is coming from, it's really fun to live in the question of what can we do through me, and playing with accessing the superorganism of humanity and the collective mind, and letting the intelligence and the genius we all are have its way through us.
We each have a different way to translate what is coming, and that's why the plurality of us is essential. And I think that's actually a very important part of co-creating humanity's future, is actually being very active on our choices, on how we treat each other and what we allow each other to bring in.
What's staying with me is what is it causing inside me right now? What am I experiencing in result or in connection to that? And this gesture of just giving myself, giving my brain, my heart more of this experience. Any qualities, any spaciousness, calmness, well-being. I'm just sinking into it.
What invites and inspires the genius latent in all of us.
For this natural genius to appear, we need to have around us people that believe in us, and they transfer this belief and this space, and also their genius.
And then there was a person in our group that mentioned, yeah, and then there's this adult side of us that, you know, gets in the way and judges and criticizes and all that stuff. And it's like, yes, that does get in the way. And what was shared is that that adult side is really the structure, the container, and oftentimes it can provide the wisdom of what works and what doesn't.
Being a human is basically being a genius. And the fact that a child at 2 years, 3 years learns to speak is an act of genius.
Then you flow through time into the 20th century, where we become fascinated with unlocking the core, the mysteries of the universe and the core powers of life. And we develop these sophisticated microscopes that enable us to see the subatomic structures and peer into the universe with sophisticated advanced telescopes. That is the idea of the 20th century, that we were going to become universal people.
There was also an interesting insight about the new generations and children coming more mature and charismatic and tasked with a function to offer a service in the world, and maybe to share wisdom that is beyond, much beyond their age. But also there was an insight that older people as well feel rejuvenated and open and sensitized to new possibilities.
I think what's the intelligence that came from the conversation that I want to carry back home is the fact of to listen to what's inside of us as what's the remedy, what's our own individual remedy.
Some of the healing is not necessarily coming through the elders. It can come in through the children. It can come in through anybody, but it's a collective of something gathering instead of a singular something. And the more of it comes from the evolution, the change of things.
We landed with the note that to preserve the best of humanity, we need to come together.
I would like to appreciate the scope and magnitude of all our geniuses in this room. And I cannot wait but to really live 100% of it.
And then the sensing that I have of the genius is like this gold thread flowing through the creation. And I've been really identifying and sensing into what that gold thread is in my life, which direction is that gold thread guiding me.
When you have access to this new or pre-existing inner resources through this call, there's this momentum of collective and individual energy. Then in a few minutes, the call is stopping, but this energy is still here. What does it mean for you? What are you gonna use the momentum of this energy in your life for?
And when we come together like this, and I hear the voices of those who have spoken, and I can feel what lives in others, it's the hope that we have, that we can co-create something different. And it all starts with that hope and intention. So I felt to put that in.
Thank you.